Good morning, folks. I'm here to talk to you today about World War II a little bit. As I say, we belong to the 45th Evacuation Hospital. We landed on D plus 10, 16th in Omaha Beach, and we went inland, and for about 6 miles. We were stayed there until the 23rd of June, but then we started moving up. The evacuation hospital follows the front lines. They move up, we moved up. We had several counters on the way. One was Battle of the Bulge. Some officer or whoever put a ordnance depot 200 yards from the hospital at the Battle of the Bulge. The Germans bombed it. We didn't have any casualties, but we had a lot of casualties in the unit. We were set up in a schoolhouse. It was scary, but we pulled through that. We went up through France, Belgium, Germany. On August the 21st, we came from town of Bad Wildungen down in Lower Germany. It was beautiful country down there. The war had not touched it. We left there. We wound up that day at Nora, up in Germany. It was a Luftwaffe airfield and barracks for the. We unloaded our trucks. We were put back on our trucks again, and we went for a little ride. We went about 4 miles. We went for this fenced-in place. Gates were open. We saw the most horrendous sight that you could ever believe. We were inside a Buchenwald concentration camp. We spent the afternoon there. The odor was terrible. It was just, I just can't describe it. It was terrible, that's all I can say. We stayed there, we looked around, saw the crematorium, the ocean, the ovens, the whipping posts, anything they used for keeping the prisoners in line. And I think a lot of the odor was, they had, I don't know how many wagon loads of dead bodies. It was just terrible. We went back to our barracks to Nora, set up our hospital. The 26th of April, 1945, we were sent back to Buchenwald concentration camp. We had to process 600 critically ill TB patients. We went in there. It was something that trying to clean up. There were the guards, the SS troops had good quarters. I don't know how they stood it with the odor there, but they had good quarters. There was 2 brick buildings, 3 floors on them. It took us 2 days to clean up the barracks and so forth, so we could set up our hospital. We couldn't set up tents; there wasn't enough room. But as I say, the filth was terrible. But it took us 2 days, along with some German civilians, to clean them up. We finally got them cleaned so that we could use it as a hospital. We set up the hospital on the first floor, and The second floor was for barracks. The other box building was for the personnel, listed men and so forth. Our first move was to take all our clothing. What do you want to call our clothing? They were rags, basically. We stripped them of their clothing and burned the clothing. The next thing was to bathe them. The ones that could walk, we had portable showers set up inside of tents. That presented a little problem because the prisoners were hesitant about going into a tent. We finally got them convinced to go in and shower, which they did. They came out, they were given dried and sprayed with DDT. From there they went to, were given new clothes. From there they went to x-rays. The next step was the x-rays. After the x-rays, they were sent up to wards. They were given beds. This is the first time they had we had cots up in all the wards. We had set up 400 beds, incidentally. The cots were, we had mattresses for many of them. If we didn't have enough mattresses, we took wool GI blankets and put them up, made pads out of them so that they had something soft to sleep on. Gave them pillows, they had sheets, pillowcases, which they hadn't had for years. From there, the laboratory personnel took over and took blood samples, urine samples, sputum samples, whatever samples had to be taken. And to treat these patients, you had to be so very careful. You were afraid of breaking, they were so thin, afraid of breaking through the bones through the skin. So you had to be very careful. When we got our patients, when they brought them up on a litter, we took 4 of us, one on each corner of the sheet, picked them up and set them on the bed very gently. We went through this. It took us approximately, we were there for 2 weeks. We were there when the war in Europe ended, on May the 8th. It was just horrendous duty. We did it. We did it well because we got a commendation out of it. But to treat these people, to take care of them, as I said, you had to be very careful with them. And one of the problems was language. I think we had something like 6 interpreters with us to talk to these people. One of the things we ran into was feeding them. You had to be very careful. Some of them ate too much too quick, and it did not set well at all. Basically, it killed them. But we finally found out. We got the cooks found a high quality diet. We started them with chocolate milk, malted milk, eggnog, and candy to help to build them up. We don't know, and none of us know what happened to any of those prisoners once they left us. Because when they left us, they were sent to a TB hospital in Germany. So we don't know what, but we figured we started them on the right road, on the road to recovery. But as I say, it was an awesome duty, but we did it. We did it to the best of our ability, and we're recognized for it. That's all we can ask for. And people ask me would I do it again? Yes, I would. Seeing those people like that, it was awful. I just can't describe it. And as I say, the odor in that camp, it was terrible. While we were in there, our sanitation department started along with the German people, citizens, started cleaning it up. I don't know how long it took them to clean it up, but they were working on it. But we left there on the 11th of May, and I to this day, I have not forgotten that. But and I did have the pleasure in August last year of this year of I'd never been able to meet anyone who was in Buchenwald, and I had the opportunity through Millville Airport, the Holocaust Museum in Washington, and several people to talk to a gentleman through the computer system that they had in Millville Airport. Talked to a gentleman that was in Buchenwald when I was there, when our outfit was there. He was only at the time 13. But as I say, I cannot describe the conditions that were there. But I hear people say, well, they talked to somebody that didn't believe that happened. Believe me, as I say many times to people, talking to groups, my eyes were 20/20 back then. I know what I saw. Don't let anybody ever tell you that concentration camps didn't happen. It happened. Thank you, folks.